I want to draw your attention to a story in the Bible in Matthew chapter 14, where Jesus actually triggers off a miracle which was incredible. And it talks about how Jesus saw the people that were following him, and they were all hungry, and they listened to Jesus the whole day. They were following him in his preachings and teachings, and they wanted to be set free. And Jesus touched them and healed them. It says he healed their sick. And when the time came, Jesus wanted to go a bit more further, and he wanted to feed them. So he threw out a challenge before his disciples, and he says, look, I want to feed these people. And that threw the disciples into confusion, being very perplexed about the whole situation. In fact, one of them turned around and said, 8 months' wages will not be enough to feed all these people. There were like 5,000 people. And that's where Jesus came forward to trigger off a miracle. He found an opportunity, and the opportunity to make this miracle happen started off with an opportunity being given to the disciples. Today, God wants to trigger off a miracle in and through your life, but he is throwing out an opportunity before you. Will you allow him to do things in and through you? So we find that, Jesus takes the 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Well, one of the disciples actually brought all this, he figured it out from a small little boy, that he was carrying his small little lunch box, and came to Jesus and gave it to him and said, we don't know how you're going to do this miracle. With just 5 loaves and 2 fishes, probably enough for one compared to 7,000. It's amazing what Jesus can do. So Jesus takes the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and he did something that is so crazy. He took the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, lifted it up, gave thanks to God the Father in heaven above, brought down the basket, and that's where the multiplication started to happen. The Bible is not very sure when did the multiplication happen. Did it happen when he lifted it up, or when he distributed it into the hands of the disciples who went further and started to give out the food? But whatever it was done after Jesus gave thanks to God the Father for it. God is giving you an opportunity today, my dear friends, where he wants you to bring whatever you have, to exercise your faith. Bring your faith unto the Lord and give thanks unto the Lord. Lift up your situation and your circumstance towards him and say, God, this is the little that I have, but make this little into an opportunity for me to do and see something incredible. When God moved and did this miracle, I believe that God created the fish in the air as and when the basket went up from Jesus' hand. Today, when you lift up your situation and your circumstances, and you bring it before the Lord, you lift it up towards heaven, and when you give thanks to the Lord for something that you are holding that it seems to be negative and small, he's going to bring it down, and he's going to create the miracle in the air. And then when you bring it down, you distribute that miracle. The miracle just goes on and on and on. I want to challenge each one of you all. If God can create the fish in the air, he can create a miracle for you out of nowhere in the air and make it happen as a reality, so that those around you will hold your miracle. They will bite into that miracle. They will eat on that miracle and say, this is the most tastiest food we've ever had. May God bless you.